Merry Christmas to our friends. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to our friends and family. This is Pretzels and History. If y'all remember back at the Awards Candy Store, we were talking about my cousin Jeff's White Redware Pottery. We're here today at the Stout's Angus Antique Mall where he's going to be telling us about how he got started into his art making and how he is doing, because surprise, we'll shut down everything again where now it's curbside pickup, outdoor dining, no indoor dining, gyms are closed, movie theaters are closed again. So I'm glad that his shop is still open because this is his big season, because this is where everybody does buy his redware pottery for Christmas presents. So I am excited today that we are here to talk about that.
Well, first I want to welcome you to Black Angus Antique Mall.
Yes, thank you.
And we are only open on Sundays, so we've got to come after church and before church. I got started in this. I went to college for it and studied ceramics and chemistry. And when I got out of college, I started my business in '71. And it was very slow to get going, as you can imagine. It's not something people need every day. Mm-hmm. So it was a long time till I had enough business to, although I've been full-time since '71, somehow I managed to do that. So it's 2021 will be 50 years that I've been in business somehow. So I'm surprising myself. So, well, let me show you what I learned how to make. I think what I'm mostly known for. This is the traditional Pennsylvania redware.
Okay.
And redware was started in the colonial period when a lot of the Europeans, of course, came over here as colonists, and they brought their ideas and styles that they worked in for hundreds of years in Europe and applied them to the materials they could find here. And in the Northeast United States now, there was a lot of red clay. So the color palette is the red clay, yellow clay brushed on, or however you want to put it on, and a clear glaze over it. Now the early work had a lead glaze, which we all hear about, of course, is poisonous, and we stopped using that a long time ago. There are newer chemicals that will do the same thing without having the poisonous side effects. This type, when you put one clay on top of the other, you thin this down about the thickness of cream, and that's called slip, which is just thinned down clay. So this technique would be slip trailing, and then this technique here, I'm carving through the thin layer of yellow clay to expose the red clay, and that technique is called sgraffito. So those would be the two techniques that you can use in redware. And again, basically the three colors. The green is from copper, and that they had available because they could use pennies. Copper was easy for them to get, and the brown is from rust. It was easy to get. They didn't have chemical suppliers then like I do today. So that explains some of the colors. And then again, that is the traditional redware style. And this is a white china clay. And I should mention on both the redware and this, I'm firing to just over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So, which is at least as high as any commercial things. Now here, we have the white clay, clear glaze over, and these are called underglazes. And these are all brushed on, and they're commercially made, like a paint. And it's an infinite color range. Same as if you went to the paint store, there's chemicals for any shade of color that you would want. And you can see these are brushed onto the white clay, and then there's two firings. One is with the colors, and then the second firing is for the glaze coating. And they have a good ring to them, like you'd expect. Over here, this is my version of a Japanese technique, which is called shino, and this is about 1400 for the timeline. And this is stoneware, but I'm using a red clay body with the tan clay slip over that. Again, I'm using iron for brown and the copper for the green. So it's a very primitive type. In the 1400s, again, they used what was available in nature around them. So again, they had iron and copper were easy to get, surface minerals that pretty much find where you needed them. But they really pushed, working with three colors, they really pushed the envelope with their range. But if you take a look at the group, you can see, again, it's a lot of brushwork and a total different feel for the three colors. Now, I was fascinated by the shino since it's 1400s Japan, and then moving ahead in time in the United States, this style here, which is Shenandoah Valley style, this would have been about maybe 1830 to just about 1900. And again, they used exactly the same ingredients. They were using the beige clay and copper and iron. So here you have two cultures separated between, Northern Virginia and Japan, who used and separated in time from the 1400s to the 1800s. They came up with completely different styles using almost exactly the same materials. So it's just interesting how two styles can be so far apart based on a few simple ingredients. So I find that interesting. And this is the Shenandoah Valley style, which goes from about Gettysburg down into Virginia, and it's just one valley in there where it was all made.
Here we are trying to get the Nobel Prize for, being YouTubers to say these business throughout the pandemic, and here he is selling his artwork in China or out in Japan, which is awesome.
Well, you want to ask her a question?
Sure. So this is his answer machine right here, and we're going to ask it a question. We're going to ask, will things get back to normal after this pandemic is over?
Okay. Well, it's turned on over here, although the lights aren't working. The battery ran out today, so we'll see how we do. Okay, we want to definitely look inside here. Yeah, throw in the carousel. So that'll get you in the mood here to ask the question. And we open it up here. See the question. The answer. What do you got?
Yes.
All right. I forgot we can do that. Well, that's good news.
That
Well,
is.
thanks for stopping by at Black Angus.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
The saying on this plate, visitors and fish both stink after 3 days, that's a Ben Franklin quote. So we haven't changed in 200 years. We still don't like our company hanging around. So,
That's funny.
good one for the guest room.